go. I assume you can hear me okay as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, sweet. So, balance and value from a TPO standpoint. And some of this I have worked on, and some of this I haven't, so we'll get to do it together. Isn't that fun? All right, so we have this is I've seen this a handful of times where we get these Newsday like nothing burgers that end up being kind of catalytic. Um, so we'll watch. We got that kind of on watch, I guess, and then we traded to the top of. I guess it was Friday's value from a TPO standpoint. We traded back into this island day here, but we're still trading inside, and this is what's crazy. Even though we've built structure on top of this, or like additional structure, we're still trading inside of this range, this old range, which now is divided up into kind of a couple of distinct ranges. This is kind of key, but then to me, this area, well, no, go this way. This area here, so this kind of creates a, balance inside of balance. You get the idea. So kind of playground from this standpoint is 912 or holding 912, which I tweeted about that last night. I think it was. Let's look. Yeah. Where is it? Yeah, 912. Like sellers got all the way down here. The next real liquidity or anything to deal with is 912. So failing down here last night was the roll up was pretty that was pretty on brand for the sellers so far. Now there's still opportunity, of course, for them to get reinvigorated, but this I'm still interested in this 967 or holding above this midline, like a RTH test, and then if we get cooking above the 90s, we just need to be mindful of that. Same thing if we get cooking below into this area, running this 912 and then lower is definitely something to be mindful of. If we look at kind of a daily chart, it kind of tells that story, which let's get all these drawings off here. You can see running this low and then kind of rolling all the way back up, and this move from this low to here is pretty weak. So if you look at this as a move from here to there, that's a classic fail, with the obvious target being here. So being below 16015 is something to be mindful of. And you could also look at this move here as a classic fail. It's something I've been working on. It's like failed auctions. So there's kind of a little range for you. Failed auctions. So we had this failed auction, and we had this failed auction on the daily. So that kind of frames up. We're getting down to the wire on the coffee. That kind of frames up the day a little bit with regard to that and TPO. and we'll talk more about this. And then let's jump in and look at our session over session. So this move down failed to close below. We swept this, but failed to close below. The dicey thing is this. We need to get over this 25. So this move up from here to there is slightly, I would say, in danger or in jeopardy. So this needs to, for continuation, obviously we need to find a rebid, hold this as the low, leave this 912 alone, and then the targets are, let's get to 25. Let's test this run right here, like this auction up that failed. And if you remember on the, I think it was 54 or something in there, on that news day, on that short day, we just like stopped there and then just unwound. So running through that and trading up into there makes a lot of sense. In a big picture sense, this move right here, the target of this move was for sellers to clear this. So you kind of have almost an equilibrium point that you're trying to recover in this area, in my opinion. So like getting any traction back up into here would be pretty bullish. Staying below that does lean towards bearishness. And you can tell, obviously, sellers are interested to try to defend that. If you go in one more layer into the story, we traded through these lows here, so we're below the current quarter's low. The next target is 70.75. So from a liquidity seeking standpoint, and if then statements, right? If we are unable to take 70, and not only 70, but really 51.50 and this low. So even if we trade down into here and catch a bid, that's classic NQ shenanigans, and that bid needs to be respected, at least as long as you can hang on to it. Current liquidity to the upside is stacked up here, and we won't draw this 0450, but it is, because it's the current 90 minutes high. We got 5 minutes until we change micros structure, or micro session, something obviously that we've talked a lot about. Holding this 76.50 is interesting, but we'll wait and let the open play out and see what's what. Below there, you can see some spots of interest. But I'd really be mindful of trading back down to these opens, this Asia open and an old New York AM open. And we're just going to delete this because we've traded through it. It doesn't clip it until this candle closes. So this is pretty key. Trading down to here and currently catching a bid. So let's go look at the work in front of us to get an idea of what we might need to get over. Let's see. We have this 83.50 area, and then above that, like 610, my opinion. So if we, catch a bid off the open, trade up to 610 or 16,010 and fail, then it's gonna be tough to the downside. But any traction, like I said, back up above that 10 through this 25, we need to watch out for. This would be the next place that I would consider shorting. This 36 to 41 would be something I would look at. This is that 54, the equal Newsday highs. A real big draw to me, but I could also see us falling short of that, and then kind of having a choppy road up to 64, based on the fact that it's a Monday, right? And so I'm going to be watching small time frame, like 15 second, and like 1 minute for just micro opportunities to take some trades. I traded last night, made a chunk of points trading that off the tweet that I mentioned of fumbling down into the lows. So at this point, I'm willing to take a trade, but I'd like to see something saucy, something robust to do so. If we look at subsession volume, which is our last little piece of the puzzle, we have all these lines are old midlines, right? And I'm just using them as kind of guides. So you can see the implications of being above 13. The idea of trading up to this midline here at 16.069 is real interesting to me. But we're down here banging into this 77 currently. Nothing would make me nothing would make a Monday like catching a entry opportunity somewhere here into the open to trade up, almost 100 points to that 69 and then being done. That'd be pretty great. But we got to trade what we get. If you look at the current picture, this is where we are. So we'll make this white so we can see it easily and distinguish it from everything around. So where we're opening with regard to current balance, it's going to be above, most likely in the next 9 minutes, above the midline, and then you can see the targets from there, just from volume on these 90-minute sessions. So holding this midline, trading back to 16K, 16.013. We have an intermediate target here in the 30s to sweep this liquidity, 36 to like 39. But then above that, we'd like to let it roll, trade through the 40s, 50s, and get back to this cluster of opens and challenge up here. But we'll take what we get, and it's Monday, so we're not gonna, be in a panic. For sure, we just rolled over to a new micro period just now. So, we'll see. Here, we'll see what we get. So we'd be looking for continuation or kind of an accumulative move here. If we get like an accumulative move here in the next 20 minutes, then a trade below that low, but holding this one would be pretty bullish to be long somewhere out of here with a target to trade back up. That would be scenario A, I guess you would say. So yeah, banks or anybody else, don't know if y'all have any thoughts. I don't have an ES book up and open. I apologize. I really, truly need to start doing a better job of that. But, this is my primary market, so. Now, if we reverse this move, trade back through this high, we'd still need to be mindful of kind of a manipulative dip before really piling in. Ooh, a little background noise. If we want to look back out at like an hourly chart, we were interested to see what we did here. Need to recover this, and then this area right here is where, if they're going to be real tough on everybody, they would we'd reinitiate a short from there. Yeah, so maybe looking for something like this. They need to be pretty aggressive to go for that. But that's where I'd love to trade to. Outside of that, you have to catch like a, something cheeky down here. We already traded to this set of single prints, almost to the tick, not quite. So even a manipulative move to tag this 70 and then quickly recover, but no close below, would be pretty tough. But that would be okay too. So, but currently the Bulls are doing just enough, and the Bears are doing just enough to keep us feeling kind of rangy. 4 hour, we initiated down here and basically just failed and initiated back out. So this 4 hour candle holds this single prints down here, so by 10 a.m. then that would be a pretty strong look. And there's not any other 4 hour like deal except somewhere up in here, which I think makes a lot of sense. Like these little guys right here who gave it their all is a great target to relieve them. Should be a great buy side target. 64.50. Additionally, that probably creates a zone. So these guys push down. Yeah, something like that. 60s, great upside target. If we get a move like that, no matter how we get it, if we get that, I'll be done for the day, most likely. Well, we got about 3 minutes till we open. So, see what we get. Be watching like 84 for a pullback into the open. Above that, watch 99. And then we should be kind of running into the other stuff to try to make that new high. Trade through 25 liquidity. So trade through that 21, 25 liquidity and go challenge into this area. if we press up and peak like 04 to 05 and fail, then I'd be real cautious bidding. There's not a lot to lean on. I know there's like a 5-minute fair value gap there, but kind of an order of events question coming into the open.